John is someone I know well. In fact, I think we've worked together. We've reviewed newspapers, I think, on different channels in the past.
We have, Nick, and good morning to you.
Good to see you. Good to see you, buddy. Right, you have got a message to the government. I've just been talking to Christian May, editor of City AM, about growth. We hear a lot about growth from the Chancellor. You don't see much growth in reality. John, what's the solution?
I'm afraid we don't see much growth, but I launched Caudwell Strong Britain 2 years ago in order to try and find out what we needed to do to attract foreign investment. I already knew some of the answers, but what I wanted was a more complete document of what we needed to do. And the consensus of opinion, of the report, coupled with my own personal thinking, is that it's a concierge service that we offer to foreign investment. But I evolved that a little bit further and took it to the point where I suggested the other night, and I've got Caudwell Strong Britain launched tonight at the House of Lords, but I suggested that what we do is we recruit 20 or 30 top British business people. We've already done the research on what companies might come to the UK to invest. We send those business people out there to press the flesh, to find out what we need to do. My personal view is that corporation tax would make a big difference, but there's a lot of...
What would you do with corporation tax, John?
I would reduce it maybe by 50% for probably 10 years.
But they're thinking of doing the other way in November, aren't they? Isn't that
well, this would be for direct foreign investment.
I see.
Because it's corporation tax that we wouldn't have had.
I see.
And it's jobs. But I would put a huge amount of criteria on there. So, for instance, the businesses that we would allow to come in on this reduced corporation tax would have to tick a lot of boxes. One of those boxes is that it would have to be high technology sector. Secondly, generating very high paid jobs, so the salaries would have to be above and beyond the average salary that is paid to the British workers today. And thirdly, the number of jobs that they forecast. If they ticked all those boxes, then they get this reduced corporation tax. But they also then get a concierge service that helps them to get into the UK, that knocks down barriers, that really holds the hand to go through the government processes and the bureaucracy to get them here. Now, I believe that would work, but the point that, coming back to the sending business people out there who've got the skill to do deals, they wouldn't be able to do the deal on the day, of course, but what they would have is the skill to find out the hot buttons of those potential companies to come to the UK. What really is it that they want? And they could bring all that knowledge and information back to the UK. There could be a consensus of opinion of what we need to do, and then we could go out and really fight for inward investment that's going to make Britain far more lucrative in terms of GDP per capita.
Well, let me ask you, you had been a Conservative supporter. You became a Labour supporter at the last election. Any regrets?
Nick, I don't regret voting for them, because at the time they were the only party I felt that I could vote for, and that was extremely disappointing, because having been a Conservative voter for my entire life, being definitely right of centre, I mean, some of my views are quite right-wing, they're nowhere near fascism, but they're very right-wing views about getting people back to work and making people responsible, work harder, do better out of working harder, not do better out of trying to get more money for less. So I am quite sort of right of centre for sure. But voting for Labour was quite strange, really. But they were the only party I could vote for, because the Conservatives had made such a hush of things.
But where are we now?
So long.
14 months on. Someone you'll know well, Stuart, now Lord Rose, said last week, you probably saw the comments, there is no growth. He can see no indication of growth, and there needs to be growth. And he says it's just flatlining. You must study the financial pages as well as anyone.
Well, it is flatlining. Let's just be slightly positive if we can be, which is that we are they got the highest growth of the G7 nations, which is dreadful. Yeah. It's dreadful. And we got to do something dynamic. In answer to your question about the Labour Party, no, I don't regret voting for them, but I regret that they're not putting in the policies and strategies to make Britain strong again. And we desperately need to do it. And if they follow the Caudwell Strong Britain recommendations, we will be a successful nation again in 4, 5, 6 years' time.
Is Sir Keir Starmer the man to do that, John?
Well, that's a good question.
Come on, I asked it. Come on, John. You're never normally backward in coming forward.
That's a good question. I have to say, increasingly, it looks like not.
And Rachel Reeves at the Treasury?
Oh, definitely not.
Tell me why.
If you look at the last budget, I was very critical of the budget. It's all sort of anti-growth. It's all anti-business. And the abolition of agricultural property relief, I vehemently disagree with. It's going to break up the farms in years to come. It's going to break up medium-sized farms and really change the fabric of our farming community. BPR is the same, business property relief. It's exactly the same problem that businesses handing down from generation to generation are going to find themselves in distress as they suddenly have to pay for the tax on that transaction.
Last question, because when you go, I'm going to be speaking with Jackie now, Baroness Smith, who's the Labour Peer and Skills Minister. I'm sure you know her, or certainly know of her, and she'll be talking about this deal that's been done between the UK and the US as regards companies and nuclear provision and supporting billions of pounds of private investment into the clean energy sector. Is that to be welcomed? Is that the sort of deal that makes sense with what you're doing with Caudwell Strong Britain?
Oh, it absolutely makes sense. And let me just say that in answer to the Keir Starmer question, I think he's done an amazing job of charming Trump. And Trump, the relationship with America is so important to us, and he has done a phenomenal job there, and also a phenomenal job in taking one of the lead roles in defending Ukraine against Russia. So, there's good, and there's not so good. I just hope they get their act together. I'm doing everything I can to campaign to drive business investment forward, and that's where the future is. Without that foreign investment creating high-paid technological jobs, we're going to flounder.
The movement is Caudwell Strong Britain. Behind it is John Caudwell, entrepreneur, philanthropist, wide-ranging brief, probably best known for Phones for You. Great having you by the studio, John.
Super. Thank you.
Thanks. 7:47. Thanks, John.